Very good morning, learner of program Certificate in Energy Technology and Management and other viewers who are watching this Facebook live session. I welcome you all on behalf of School of Engineering and Technology, IGNO. Today I am going to discuss the topic solar energy system and solar greenhouse. This topic comes under course title Renewable Energy Technology and Their Uses. So before starting the topic, just I am going to discuss about the brief of this program. Basically, as you know, the title of this for today's presentation is Solar Drying System and Solar Greenhouse. So this topic comes under the course OEY 002, that is Renewable Energy Technologies and Their Uses, that is OEY 002. And it has been attempt to cover block 4 and block 5 of course OEY 002. So before starting this topic, I am going to discuss about this program. What is this program basically? This is a 6-month certificate program in energy technology and management, and this particular course have 4 courses, that is course 1 OEY 001, that is energy resources and conversion process, and course 2 is OEY 002 renewable energy technology and their uses, and course 3 is OEY 003 energy management audit and conservation, and last one is a energy project, that code is OEY 004. Basically this, as I told you, this is a 6-month certificate course, and minimum duration for this course is a 6 month and maximum duration is a 2 year, and course fees is just 3,000 rupees, and the minimum qualification to join this program is class 10th only. And this program is designed for the particular to get the this objective. First is to give an overview of various energy resources and their availability and use pattern. Second, to give an exposure about the environmental effects of energy use. Third, to understand renewable energy technologies. Fourth, to conduct an energy audit and implement energy conservation measures. And to see the importance of the energy, economy and environmental interaction. So after the completion of this particular program, the most important thing that you will be able to understand what is the use of the renewable energy uses, and you will also be able to conduct an energy audit related to the energy conservation measures. So let us start the topic, that is a solar dryer systems. So as name is indicating, solar dryer system. So question is, what is system? System is nothing but in which you give some input and you get some desired output, right? And what is a desired output? Desired output comes in form of the drying of some crops or some medicinal plant or chemicals. Because if any system is made, that means you have to give some input energy or fuel, and for this particular type of system, that is solar dryer system, input energy is solar energy, that is free. So as you know, solar energy has a tremendous potential among all the renewable energy sources. If we are able to convert even a small fraction of it, it will turn out one of the best energy sources to the human society. Solar air heating systems are used mainly for the drying applications. Solar dryer can be used in agriculture for the food and crop drying, and in industries for the drying the different chemicals also. Solar drying can be used for the entire drying process or for the supplementing artificial drying system, so reducing the total amount of the fuel energy required. As I told you that whatever the energy you are using to run such type of system, that is a solar energy which is free. Now we have to understand what is a drying. So drying is what? Means suppose you have some product, like just I am taking an example of any crop. So whatever the crop you have, that will be a dry product and moisture. That means whenever some crops are placed in some chamber, that crop has some moisture. because you have to dry. So what you have to do, you have to extract the moisture from that particular crop or from the chemical. So what you will do, just air will be flown inside of the chamber, and this hot air will in contact of the crop. So whatever the moisture is there, this moisture will be extracted in form of the humid air out, and whatever is left out, that is a dry product. So this is the objective of the drying. Whether it is open sun or the solar drying or by any other method, drying implies the partial removal of moisture, that is a water from the material. But when fuel fired equipment is used in the process, then the term dehydration is often used. The conditions essential to both drying and dehydration include supply of heat energy to evaporate the water and a supply of air to carry away the water vapor produced. Now, because we are using some drying system, so there are different drying modes which are as follows. First, maybe the open sun drying, another is a direct mode drying, and third is a indirect mode drying. In the diagram or figure, you can see this is the open sun drying system. Here you can see the crops are placed on the floor or on some bed sheet. What happens? From the sun, solar radiation comes and it incident on the crop that is placed on the floor or on the bed sheet. Then what will happen? Whatever the solar radiation come in the form of the short wave radiation, it will be reflected in form of radiation, or there will be some loss. What is that loss? This loss is due to in form of the heat to the atmosphere in form of long wave length radiation, and there will be some losses due to the convective and evaporative heat losses also will be there. So whatever the radiation is coming, it will be reflected, it will be lost in form of the heat loss. So it will extract the moisture associated with the particular crop or the chemical, and that product in form of the crop will be dried. Now again we can understand what happens in the open drying system. So first is product that you want to dry to be dried in spread on a clean surface. The solar radiation falls on the surface of the product. A part of the solar radiation is reflected back, while the remaining part is absorbed by the surface of the product. Now what will happen? The absorbed radiation is converted into thermal energy, right? And thermal energy means it has some heat, and the temperature of the product start rising. Now this leads to the loss of the long wave radiation from the surface of the product to the ambient air through the moist air. Simultaneously, there is a convective heat loss due to the blowing wind over the product. So what happens during this whole process? It results in evaporation of the moisture. Now if evaporation of the moisture occurs, that means product is going to be dry, and it lost to the surrounding air and product gets dried. Now because we are talking about the open drying technology, so this technology has some merit or demerit. So first we will understand what is the merit and demerit of this open sun drying system. Open sun drying, though it is very economical, because there is no device is required, there is no additional equipment required, no fan is required, no chamber is required. So it is very economical. So it has some demerits also. Some of them are these. Open sun drying requires presence of somebody at site throughout the drying period, so that the product could be protected from the birds, animals, and adverse weather condition. The resulting dried products are not of high quality because of the dust and the other sediment present in the atmosphere, and this dust and the other sediment present will come in contact of the crop. So it will be, so quality of this particular product that you are going to dry will be damaged. The product are usually unhygienic to use. All these problems can be avoided to the large extent by using the solar drying system. And in solar drying system, what happens? Because you are using the solar energy, this drying can be done with help of the different drying techniques, like open air drying that I have already explained. And this, because you have to increase the temperature, and this temperature can be increased, this temperature of the air can be increased by the firewood or by the fuel drying. It can be increased by some electrical appliances also, that means you can use the blower also. So now we have to understand what are merit and demerit of the different drying techniques. So first technique, that is open drying technique, I have already told you that there is no investment is required, no fuel is required. And what is the demerit? The product is exposed to various risks such as dust, birds, animals, ant, rain, etc. It takes a long time to dry. That means drying time is very high. It requires labor to handle drying material, because the crops or whatever product is placed to dry, it is placed in the open area. That means some labor is required to observe a particular product, and the quality of the drying is not satisfactory since it is exposed to the dust. It is either under dried or over dried. Next drying technique, that is a firewood or fuel drying. That means for drying you are using the firewood or another fuel. So what is the advantage of this particular drying technique? It is quicker than the open air technique, but there is some disadvantage also of this type of technique. It requires investment in the fuel and installing dryer box. It pollutes the environmental and deforest, because you are using the firewood, you are using the wood. That means you are cutting the different plants, and if you are using the firewood, that means you are because when the fire of the wood will be there, that means it will pollute, there will be some carbon dioxide emission, and due to this the quality of the dried product may be affected by the smoke, and it is not easy to control the drying. That means you are not able to control the temperature of that particular product during the drying, and it requires labor for operation and maintenance. Another one is electrical drying. As the name is indicating, electrical drying, that means you have to operate the electrical appliances, and if you are operating the electrical appliances, that means you need electrical power from the conventional power plant. If you are using the power from the conventional plant, that means again coal is coming in the picture. If coal is coming in the picture, that means there is again pollution is coming in the picture, there will be carbon dioxide emission. So this drying is basically quicker. This is a merit, no doubt about it, in comparison to the above last two methods. But the drying of this crop is well controlled, because electrical appliances, because you have to control the temperature, or you have to control the speed of the air, that like a fan, because you are using fan in your room, that means by the regulator you can control the speed of that fan. Similarly, you can control the blower, speed of the blower, that means you can control the speed of the air that is coming inside of the chamber and coming out from the chamber. So it is well controlled. The quality of the dried product is also good. You are using the electricity, that means you have to pay the electricity bill also. The dryer requires grid electricity, which may not be available in the rural area. This is a main disadvantage. If suppose there is a remote area, there is no electricity, it is very tough to get the electricity there. That means in that particular place you cannot use such type of drying technology. The drying is not environmentally, as I told you, that because you are taking the power from the conventional power plant, it is maybe the nuclear power plant, maybe from a thermal power plant. If it is a thermal power plant, coal is there, that means it is polluting. So it is basically it is not environmentally, and it requires labor for the operation and maintenance also. The next and last is solar drying, which is very important if you are comparing from the remaining three. It does not require specialized manpower. It is well controlled and quicker in drying. The products are well protected during the drying process. It can be produced locally and from the local available material. Because if you are using the solar drying technology for the drying the crops or the chemical, whatever the appliances or whatever the fuel you are using, that is locally available. So that means we have to depend on the local material available. As yesterday, if you must have heard about our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he told that we have to depend on the local product. That means we have to make such a system that is locally available. So if you are using the solar drying technology, so whatever the product, whatever the appliances, whatever the fuel you are using, that is locally available. It can be used in the remote area because solar is everywhere. It is free. It is not polluting. But there are some disadvantages of this solar drying is also there. What is the disadvantage? It requires introduction to technology, because if you are not aware about this technology, so you cannot use the properly. The dryer should be operated properly to have the good quality of the dried product. So this is all about the demerit and merit of the different drying technique, like electrical drying, solar drying, open sun drying, and all that. Next, we are coming about because we are talking about the solar drying technology, and this and I have understood that it have most advantage in comparison to the other. So now we have to understand what is this solar cabinet dryer. As name is indicating, cabinet dryer, that means you need some chamber. So this chamber is nothing but it is a cabinet. So what happens in solar cabinet dryer? Now we have to understand the solar cabinet dryer mainly consists of drying cabinet, right? So whatever the product that you want to dry, it will be placed in the drying cabinet. Now one side of the cabinet is glazed. Glazed means just you have to cover this top of this particular chamber either by the glazing or by the polythene to let admit solar radiation in, which is converted into low grade thermal heat, raising the temperature of inside air, the drying chamber, and the material to be dried. Usually the solar radiation falls directly on the material being dried. The moisture evaporated by solar heat is removed by the air circulation, and this is done either by designing to the encourage natural convective airflow or by the forcing circulation with fans or below. So what happens, because now you can see, so there is a two type of technology that can be used for this particular solar drying. One is a natural convective airflow, and another is by the forcing. So what will be the advantage of the natural? There is no additional equipment is required, like you don't need a fan. So it will be work on the natural process. That means it will work on the thermosiphon principle. And second type is a forcing circulation. As name is indicating, you will be forced to the circulation. For this type of circulation, you need some blower or fans. If you need some fans or blower, that means you need some auxiliary supply to operate this, and this auxiliary supply may be given by the conventional system or may be given by the non-conventional system. So to operate this fans or blower, you can give this power or electrical power from the photovoltaic module, right? So there is no need to take the auxiliary supply from the grid. It consists of the wire mesh trays fitted in the wooden framework and covered by the clear plastic sheet. Such a dryer is usually called cabinet dryer. A typical solar cabinet dryer of 10 meter square surface area could dry about 20 to 25 kilogram, produced in about 3 to 4 days if adequate sunshine is available. Now here you can understand by this block diagram how the solar drying system works. As you can see, as the solar radiation coming from the sun, it will be collected with help of the solar collector. Now solar collector will collect the solar energy, and the temperature of the collector inside will increase, and whatever the temperature of the air is inside of the collector, it will be given to the air handling unit, and from the air handling unit this hot air will go through the drying chamber, and in this drying chamber different product that is placed. And now what will happen, because the drying products are there, that means moisture is there, so air will come in contact of this particular crop or the chemical. So whatever the moisture is there, because temperature will increase, so it will start to evaporate. It will start to evaporate. That means moisture will come out, and if moisture is come out, so whatever is left out, that is a dried product. So this is a simple understanding how the solar drying system works. Now, as I told you, there is a two type of dryer. One is a natural circulation, another is a forced type. So here we can understand the natural circulation dryer. Here you can see in this diagram, there is a one solar collector, right? And the base of the solar collector is a basically blackened surface. It is painted with the black paint. Why? Because you have to increase the absorbability of this solar collector. So as and above the solar collection maybe the glass cover or maybe the plastic sheet. So as solar radiation comes in form of the short wave radiation, it have a high energy, so it will be penetrated through the glass cover or the plastic sheet, and it will reach to the back in the absorber of the solar collector, and whatever the solar radiation is coming, it will be absorbed. So what will happen? The temperature of inside of the solar collector will increase. So now temperature is high and air is coming inside of the solar collector, and this temperature of that air is coming inside, that is the ambient air temperature. Now this ambient air temperature come in contact of the base of this solar collector. So whatever heat associated in absorber, it will be transferred to the air. So temperature of the air will increase. Now this air will go, because it is a natural thermosiphon principle, as air, because as the temperature will increase the air, it will be lighter. So air will be flow from base to the upper part, and it will go in the drying box, and in drying box crops or chemicals are placed, and this hot air will in contact of the in the crop. So temperature of this drying chamber will be increased. If temperature of this drying chamber will be increased, so evaporation will be increased. If evaporation will be increased, that means moisture will be extracted. So whatever is left out, that is a dried product. So it is a basic principle of the natural circulation dryer. Here you can see the actual solar dryer system, that the different trays are there. In the different tray you can put the different crop, like you can put the mint, you can put the tulsi, you can put the chili, you can put the ginger also, and it can be dried. And after the drying, it can be used for the long time. It can be it can be used for the long time, and the quality of this particular product will be very good, because it is not coming in contact of the dust, it is not coming in contact of the bird. Now next question arises, drying time, how the drying time can be increased, or how the, because if it is taking 3 days or 4 days, so time is very high. So drying time depends on the different parameter. First is amount of incident solar radiation. If solar radiation is more, that means if solar radiation is more, like 600 watt per meter square, then 700 watt per meter square, that means more solar radiation, that means more heat. If more heat, that means temperature of the air is more. If temperature of air is more, that means evaporation will be more. If evaporation is more, that means drying time is less. Second is relative humidity of the ambient air. And third is the type of the product to be dried. That means it depends on the type of the product also, like tulsi and mint powder, mint is placed, so drying time is less. If you are putting the ginger or you are putting the potato, so drying time will be more. Now here you can see the forced circulation dryer. So its name is indicating forced circulation, right? So forced circulation means what? You have to increase the mass flow rate inside of the chamber, and mass flow rate is what? Mass flow rate depends on, that is denoted by the M suffix F, that is rho AV. Rho is a specific density of the air, and A is the area from the air is coming out, and V is the velocity of the air, from which velocity is coming out from the chamber. That means rho is fixed, and once the area is made, that means area is fixed. What you can control, that is the velocity of the air. And how the velocity of the air can be controlled? It can be controlled with help of the fan. So how the fan can be controlled? It depends on the voltage. right? So to operate this particular, because as you know we are using the PV module to run this particular fan, that means because you know PV module gives the DC power, whatever the voltage you will get the DC current and DC voltage, so DC fan are used, and to operate this DC fan, this supply is taken from the PV module. And if you want to control the speed of the blower, so in between PV module and the fan you can use the regulator, and with help of the regulator you can control the speed of the blower, right? So here you can see the two PV modules are used, and these PV modules are the semi-transparent PV module. Because why semi-transparent PV module are used? Because solar, whatever the solar radiation coming, it should be transferred to the inside of the chamber. At the same time, this PV module is giving the electrical power to operate this DC fan. Here in the next diagram you can see there is a two DC fan are used. Why two DC fan are used? Because you have to increase the more circulation. More circulation means you have to increase the more mass flow rate. So if you have to increase the mass flow rate, that means you have to increase the more speed. So two DC fan are used, and the power of these two DC power can be given to the two PV modules. So just you have to take care, whatever the DC fan are using, it must have power of this DC fan must be less than or equal to the whatever the power you are getting from the PV module. If we use a fan to create the airflow, the drying time is reduced considerably, and collector area required may also be reduced significantly. Here you can see how this solar dryer work. Here you can see that there is 3 trays are used, and or it may be the 9 trays can be used. Here you can see there is a mint powder. You have to make the mint powder. So mint is placed inside of this tray, and you can see this is the first day, and second day you can see how this has been dried. So on the first tray, that is you can see the drying quality of this particular tray is more in comparison to the below 2 trays. And in the third day you can see what happens, and in the fourth day this drying mint can be converted into the powder. So what I am trying to convince you, to convert this mint leaf into mint powder, there is only 4 days are required with this type of the solar PV dryer. If you are using the force mode, that means this type of dryer is also called hybrid photovoltaic dryer, because hybrid means what? You are using the two technology, thermal and electrical, and to operate this DC fan you are using the PV module. So this is also called hybrid PV dryer. Here you can see that how the resins are drawn. This tray may be the sorter tray, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trays are used, and here you can see if you are drying this resins or kismis, so if it is placed in the green enclosure, how you can see the quality. If you are using it is dried in the open area, then you can see if you are using in the shade. So here we can see if it was dried inside of the chamber, the quality of that resin is very good in comparison to the other two. Now here you can see the another type of the solar dryer. Here you can see whatever the collector area that was used to collect the solar thermal energy, here all the collector or glazing or the PV sheet is replaced by the PV module, right? Why this whole cover of the glass is replaced by the PV module? Because you have to increase the circulation of the airflow. If you have to increase the circulation of the airflow, that means you need a more electrical power. So you need a more electrical power. So the whatever the area of that particular solar collector is replaced by the semi-transparent PV module. Here you can see the front and rear view of the solar dryer. Again you can see this diagram, how the particular product that you want to dry is placed inside of the chamber. And this is another type, photovoltaic thermal mixed mode dryer. Why it is called mixed mode? That means you are using the collector also, you are using the PV module also. So this is called, in fact, it is called hybrid PV dryer. So this particular PV module is used to operate the DC fan to increase the airflow of this particular dryer. And as the air is coming inside of the chair, that is inlet air temperature, it is coming in contact with the PV module. At the same time, because it is a cool air, so it is coming in contact of the base of the PV module. So what is happening basically? That means air as coming inside of the chamber, temperature of air is increasing. If air of this chamber is increasing, at the same time temperature of the PV module is decreasing. If temperature of the PV module is decreasing, that means electrical efficiency of the PV module is also increasing. Now this hot air is going through the collector area, then it is going inside of the chamber, and here the crop or product is placed, and this hot air is coming in contact of the particular crop or dryer, and because temperature is increasing, so evaporation rate is increasing. If evaporation rate is increasing, that means the time required to dry this particular crop or chemical is less. So this is all about the photovoltaic thermal mixed mode dryer. Here you can see the photograph of the hybrid photovoltaic thermal single slope greenhouse dryer at Sodaverse complex, Varanasi. So I have visited there. My guide, Professor G.N. Tiwari, has taken one project from the Department of Science and Technology, and a big solar dryer was made, and I am fortunate that I have got a chance to work on this particular system. And here chili was dried, and the quality of that chili was tested in the different laboratories, and that quality was very good. And so such type of dryer, my suggestion is such type of dryer can be used in the remote area. So you can install a small, आप छोटे छोटे उद्योग भी लगा सकते हैं. It is very useful for the farmer, because if you are drying some medicinal plant or you are drying some ginger, that means you are able to make a powder, and you can pack in the small packets and you can sell in the market. At the same time, you are getting some electrical power from also, so you can operate the 1 CFL lamp, 2 CFL lamp. You can also, you are able to operate the DC one fan also. At the same time, you are able to dry the particular crop which is locally available. So that means such type of dryer can be installed in rural area, and you no need to take that particular crop from one place to another place. Just you cut that particular crop and put inside of the chamber, and at the same time minimum time you can dry the product. Now we have to understand what are the advantages and disadvantages of this solar drying system. Advantage is solar drying technologies are simple for improving the rate of drying over traditional method. Solar drying to the desired moisture level reduce losses during the storage and increase the value of the final output. Selling crops at the correct moisture level increase their value. Solar drying systems are relatively cheap to install and have minimal maintenance cost, because if anything has some advantage, so it has some disadvantages also. What are the disadvantages? Solar drying system employing natural circulation are slow. The mechanized system using new and renewable sources as fuel are expensive to run. The solar air heater are simple, but technology behind them need to be carefully understood so that they can be operated efficiently. Otherwise, these may be operated ineffectively. Now next topic is solar greenhouse. What is a solar greenhouse? Solar greenhouse is nothing. Solar greenhouse are the enclosures where crops, vegetables, flowers, plants can be grown under unfriendly climatic conditions. You know that the plant growth gets affected by the availability of the light, moisture, ambient temperature, and carbon dioxide. It is possible to design enclosure which admits sunlight when it is desired, and at the same time controls inside temperature within acceptable range. Usually solar greenhouse find application in cold areas where vegetation is damaged due to the extreme low temperatures. You will be happy to see that the greenhouse effect is a natural process. So basically the solar greenhouse work on the principle of the greenhouse effect. So first of all we have to understand what is the greenhouse effect. As you know, as the solar radiation comes from the sun, it is absorbed by the earth. Earth absorbs the incoming solar radiation. Then earth cools by the emitting long wave radiation, infrared radiation, and this long wave radiation is absorbed by the greenhouse gases that is present in the atmosphere, and hence it cannot escape. So what happens due to this long wave infrared radiation? It increases the temperature or average temperature of the atmosphere. Now again you can understand, as the solar radiation incident on the upper atmosphere, it comes on the ground, and radiation absorbed by the earth, some radiation reflected by the earth, and some radiation reflected to the outer surface, and whatever the radiation reflected coming on the atmosphere, it is reflected to the atmosphere, and again it is reflected to the earth. If the atmosphere absorbs all the infrared radiation emitted by the earth and continue to transmit all the incident radiation, the atmosphere will get heat up. The atmosphere radiates into outer space and towards the earth surface in equal amount. This earth surface receives more radiation and gets heat up. This is a greenhouse effect. So basically greenhouse effect is very, very dangerous, but this greenhouse effect can be used for some useful purpose, that is in greenhouse, in solar greenhouse. So what is the impact of this greenhouse effect in nature? Now we have to, first of all we have to understand this. The impact of greenhouse effect is the global warming, which is in turn is affecting entire ecosystem and health of the people. The significant temperature rise to going to have drastic social, economic and ecological implications. The global warming is affecting the human society in many ways, like causing the storms, hurricanes, floods and drought, glacier and polar ice is melting. Sea level is rising, forest fire cases are increasing and tropical diseases are increasing. Greenhouse effect is responsible for greenhouse gases and climate changes. Now we have to understand what are these greenhouse gases. There are different greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbon. How these gases are produced? Basically this carbon dioxide is producing due to the burning of the fossil fuels, and due to the anaerobic bacteria in rice field and sewage, methane is generating, and due to the fossil fuel and the fertilizer, nitrous oxide is producing, and due to the refrigeration process, chlorofluorocarbon is generating. Here you can see the carbon cycle. Basically, because you are cutting the different plants, so due to this deforestation, 1.6 billion tons of the carbon dioxide is coming in the picture, and 5.5 billion tons products by the burning of the fossil fuel. Out of this, nearly 7.8 billion ton carbon dioxide emission, 3.3 billion tons absorbed by the atmosphere, 2 billion tons absorbed by the ocean, and 2 billion tons absorbed by the land. So this is all about the carbon cycle. Here you can see what are the effect of change in the temperature and the climate. Due to the change in the temperature and the climate, thermal expansion of the water and melting of the glacier, and due to this sea levels would rise by about 2 feet by the next century. And due to this temperature rise, next phenomena is change in the regional wind system. Due to this global rain distribution is disturbing, and again due to this change in temperature in the climate, coal bleaching is there, and again because this temperature is very high and climate is very disturbing, so due to this growth in the insect population is more, and due to this negative effect of the agriculture and human health, and due to this different type of diseases are occurring like spread of the malaria and other tropical disease. Now, what are the steps to reducing the greenhouse effect in nature? Now, you may be thinking what an individual can do about the greenhouse effect. Each one of us can help to reduce the impact of greenhouse. Some of the simple steps are listed below. You have to understand very carefully. You have to educate in the greenhouse education. In greenhouse education, what you have to do? You should make serious effort to know all about the greenhouse effect, global warming, climate change. You must understand that consumption of the fossil fuels in making our energy requirement produces greenhouse gases which are responsible for greenhouse effect. Consuming more energy therefore leads to more greenhouse effect. You should make serious effort to know about alternate energy sources. If you are shifting to the alternate energy sources, that means you can reduce this greenhouse effect. So you must be able to understand the advantage of the solar energy, advantage of the wind energy, hydro energy and all that. Second, what we can do, we have to understand the energy conservation. And for energy conservation, what we can do? Energy conservation in your hand. You should always remember that energy saved is more than the energy produced. The main greenhouse gases is what? The main greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide, which comes from the burning of the fossil fuels. You can help in reducing the emission of carbon dioxide by the reducing consumption of the electricity and energy in transportation. You know, a car produces carbon dioxide roughly 2 tons per year. So that means if you are reducing the transportation, that means you can reduce the carbon dioxide emission to the environment. You can also reduce the greenhouse effect by the saving the electricity. So for that, what you are supposed to do, you are advised to switch off the lights and any other electrical appliances like ACs, TVs, radio, fan, bulb when not in use. We have a habitual, whenever we are going from the room, just fans and lights are on, we are not taking care that we have to switch off the fan and light at that time when it is not in use. Start making the use of energy efficient lamp. That means it can be normal bulb can be replaced by the CFL or LEDs. Always use energy efficient appliances. They may cost more initially but will be more advantageous in long run. Now we have to understand the solar greenhouse, because solar greenhouse work on the principle of the greenhouse effect. So this effect can be used to some useful purpose, and this can be used in the solar greenhouse. Here you can see in this picture what is this solar greenhouse. The most important purpose of greenhouse is to collect solar energy, to raise the indoor temperature and also store heat for use during night. Solar greenhouses are climate control. How the heat can be increased inside of this greenhouse? Because you are using the glazing, that means you are replacing this roof by either by the plastic sheet or by the glass. As the solar radiation comes in form of the short wave radiation, it will be penetrate to the glass or the plastic sheet and it will go inside of the chamber, and whatever the heat is coming from the sun, it will be absorbed inside the chamber. Now because heat will be absorbed, so now the energy will be less, so it will be converted into long wave radiation and it will not be able to go outside of the chamber, so temperature of the inside of the chamber will be more. The crops may be grown in solar greenhouse under favorable controlled environment like temperature, because you are able to control the temperature in the cold climatic condition due to this solar greenhouse. And humidity, light intensity, ventilation, soil media, disease control, irrigation and other ergonomical practice throughout the season, irrespective of the natural condition outside. The greenhouse technology available today is suitable for production of the vegetable crops, production of the off-season flower vegetables, production of the roses, cut flowers, etc., plant propagation, raising of the seedlings, primary and secondary hardening, nurturing of the tissues, cultured plants. The basic principle of solar greenhouse is that the solar radiation coming from the sun passes through the glass cover, but the radiation emitted by the heated surface present inside the enclosure cannot escape, as the glass is opaque for the longer wave radiation. This I have explained many times. Depending upon the use of the auxiliary energy sources, the solar greenhouse are broadly classified as passive and active greenhouse. These two make use of the different resources but still serve a same purpose. So what are these two type of solar greenhouse? One is a passive, another is active. What happens in passive solar greenhouse? The passive solar greenhouse does not make use of any mechanical devices like motors, fans, etc. for transferring the solar heated air from the storage area to the other parts of the greenhouse. Now what happens in the active solar greenhouse? As name is indicating the active, that means you need some additional appliances. So the active solar greenhouse make use of the mechanical devices like motors, fans for the transferring the solar heated air from the storage area to the other parts of the greenhouse. Here you can see the experimental setup of the PBT integrated greenhouse, which was made in the IIT Delhi in Center for Energy Studies department. There was one solar house, and I am thankful to the Professor G.N. Tiwari and sir, who is my guide, who has made this solar greenhouse. Here you can see this total solar greenhouse. It was made by the glazing, that means the roof was made of the plastic sheet. Here you can see there is a number of the PV modules are there. Around 12 PV modules are there, and here you can also see there is some cooling pads are also used. Now we have to understand what is the purpose of this, because normal greenhouse is what? Just you make this roof and the all side of this solar greenhouse by the plastic sheet. So what will happen? So solar radiation will come in short wave radiation, it will go inside the chamber, heat of the chamber will be increased. So only the heat of the inside the chamber you can increase. You cannot control the temperature. Even you can control the temperature just by making some ventilator. But here, what is the beauty of this type of solar greenhouse? Because you are using the PV modules, that means you can install some fan. And how this fan will be work? It will be simply, it will work as an exhaust fan, like that you use in kitchen. What do you do in kitchen? Wherever the temperature is more in the kitchen, you switch on the exhaust fan. So whatever the heating inside the chamber, that heat is extracted with help of the exhaust fan. Similarly here, fan will be used to exhaust the more heat from the inside the chamber. Because you are using the exhaust fan, that means you need some electrical power. So to operate this electrical power, you need that technology which can give the electrical power. So that electrical power is taken from the PV modules. Here more interestingly you can see there is some cooling pads are used. This cooling pad is work on the principle of the like normal desert cooler that we use in your home. Here you can see fan will air will be flown through this cooling pad, because you have to increase the more that means you suppose there is a more temperature inside the chamber, you want to cultivate some crop in May or June, and that favorable temperature is, it should be less, like suppose you need a 32 degree centigrade temperature, but inside chamber is nearly 48 degree centigrade. So you have to reduce the temperature. That means cooling is required. If cooling is required, that means cooler is required. Cooler is required, that means again fan is coming in the picture. So again fan is coming in picture, that means you need electrical power. So for this desert cooler can be operated with help of this PV modules. So that means this type of PBT integrated greenhouse, you can increase the temperature and at the same time you can decrease the temperature. That means controlling is in your hand. So what type of crop that you want to cultivate, it can be done such type of greenhouse. Now what you have to take care if you are designing a solar greenhouse. Solar greenhouse have the following features. Solar greenhouse should be elongated along east-west axis, have longer south side to allow receipt of the maximum solar radiation. North wall could be made opaque, especially in regions where sub-zero ambient temperature is experienced. To prevent one-sided growth of the plant, ceiling and upper part of the north wall should be made white, painted to reflect sunlight onto the plants. Double glass cover can also be used in regions which serve winter for constructing solar greenhouse. Solar greenhouse make use of heat storing material to retain solar heat. Pebbles can be provided in the floor with top surface painted in the dark color to capture maximum solar heat. These heats can be blown in during night to keep inside warm. This plastic sheet can also be used in place of the glass, which is cheaper for the construction of solar greenhouse. However, this needs to be ultraviolet stabilized to have their longer life. Now another term is coming, green building. So green house, solar greenhouse and solar green building. Solar green building is different from the solar greenhouse. Green building do not refer to the building which are green in color or have been constructed with a green park around, right? Green building refer to the practice of addressing issues of the resources conservation in an integrated and scientific manner. By definition, what is a green building? Green building is one which uses the less water, optimizes energy efficiency, conserve natural resources, generate less waste and provides healthier space for the occupants as compared to the conventional building. A green building depletes very little of the natural resources during its construction and operation. What is the aim? The aim of green building design is to minimize the demand on non-renewable resources and maximize the utilization efficiency of these resources when in use. Maximize the reuse and recycling of the available resources and utilization of the renewable resources. In the particular, the following aspects of the building design are looked into an integrated way in green building. What is that? First is site planning. Second is a building envelope design, building system designing including HVAC, that is heating, ventilation and air conditioning, lighting, electrical and water heating system. That means all type of facility, that is HVAC, lighting, electrical, all this should be replaced by or you can say all it should be operated by the non-conventional energy sources. It should be operated by the solar energy or it should be used by the wind energy. Integration of the renewable energy sources to the generate energy on site, water and waste management. Selection of the ecological sustainable material with high recycled content, rapidly renewable resources with low emission potential. Indoor environmental quality, which maintains the indoor thermal and visual comfort and air quality. It may be true that the cost of this green building is little more, no doubt about it. However, it has been proven that it costs less to operate a green building. Besides, it has tremendous environmental benefit and providing better place for occupant to live and work in. So the challenge of green building is to achieve all its benefit and affordable cost. So next and last is we have to understand what are the advantages of the green building. So advantage of green buildings are what? It reduces maintenance and replacement cost over the life of the building. And most advantage is energy conservation, because you are not using the non-conventional energy for making such type of green building. You are using the solar energy for the heating and cooling. You are also using the solar energy, and due to this green building, improved health and productivity of the occupants is more, and lower cost associated with the changing space configuration and greater design flexibility. So in this particular lecture, we have discussed two main topics: solar dryer system and solar green building. So this is all about this particular topic, solar dryer and solar greenhouse. It was covered from the OEY 002 and block 4 and block 5. My request to the learner, there are different queries are coming to me that how the assignment has to be submitted. It is requested to submit assignment through the email, and you can submit this email assignment to the respective regional center through the email. If you have any problem or you have any queries, please write mail on sanjay.agrawal@igno.ac.in. Thank you so much.